Hello dear student, today I am going to teach you 7th semester subject design of AC machine. Its subject code is 2170909 design of AC machine. Okay, now marking pattern for DAM subject is 70 marks of GTU end semester exam, 30 marks is of mid-semester exam for college level, and it contains of 50 marks for assessment, practical, external viva. Okay, in all, total is 150 marks for this subject. Okay. Now, the content of this syllabus, design of AC machine, it contains 4 chapters. Chapter number 1 is design of 3-phase induction motor. Chapter number 2 is design of single-phase induction motor. Chapter number 3 is design of synchronous machines. Synchronous machines means it includes both motor and generator. And fourth one is the application of finite element method in design. It is computer based. Okay. Now the GTU marking means chapter wise weightage in GTU exam paper. Chapter number 1 design of 3-phase induction motor. It's about 35% of GTU exam paper. Chapter number 2 contains 15% of GTU exam paper. Chapter number 3 it contains 35% of GTU exam paper. And last, chapter number 4, it contains 15% of GTU exam paper. Okay, this is the percentage of 70 marks GTU exam paper. Clear? Okay, now we are going to start with chapter number 1, that is design of 3-phase induction motor. Okay, in previous semesters, you have learned about 3-phase induction motor, its construction, its working. Now, in this subject, design of AC machine, we are going to design 3-phase induction motor with electrical components. Okay, 3-phase induction motor, there are 2 main parts in its construction. First one is stator, and second one is rotor. Okay. We are going to design these 2 parts of 3-phase induction motor. Now, construction wise, 3-phase induction motor is classified in 2 parts. First one is squirrel cage induction motor, and second one is slip rings or phase wound or wound type induction motor. In construction of these 2 types of induction motors, the construction of stator will going to remain same. What will change? The design of its rotor for both type of motor will going to change, whether it is a squirrel cage type or slip ring or wound type. The rotor is different and stator will remain the same. Okay. Two types of different rotor are available according to construction of 3-phase induction motor. This one is squirrel cage type. Okay, you learned in AC machine subject of 4th semester, and second type of rotor is squirrel cage type, that also you have learned in semester 4 in subject of AC machine. This is not new for all of you. These are the already covered topic in your semester 4. Okay, now main topic of this subject, that is the main dimension of 3-phase induction motor construction. Okay, I am going to explain it by diagram. These are the main cut section view of three-phase induction motor. Okay, this center part is rotor and two hedges part is the stator of three-phase induction motor. Okay, this is the cut section view as shown in diagram A. Okay, the inner ring shows the shaft, the second inner ring shows the rotor, the white portion shows the air gap between rotor and stator. Okay, and this one is the part of stator. Okay, it is clearly shown in the diagram B. L is the main dimension. L is the length of stator core. It is the length of stator core. Now, dr. dr is the diameter of rotor. dr is the diameter of the rotor. Now, d. There is a vast difference between dr and d. dr is the diameter of rotor, but d is the armature diameter or stator bore diameter. If we removed the rotor from this diagram, the remaining area, means this bore, is called stator bore. It is denoted by capital D, and the gap between rotor and stator, this white portion, is called length of air gap. It is denoted by LG. Okay, these all main dimension, that is L length of armature, dr diameter of rotor, capital D armature diameter or stator bore diameter, and LG length of air gap are going to express in meter. What is the unit? Meter. Now, next topic is the definition. There are two definitions which are surely going to ask in 70 marks DTU exam paper. Okay. First one is specific magnetic loading. It is denoted by BAV. And second one is specific electric loading. It is denoted by AC. Okay. First of all, let us see specific magnetic loading. What is it? Is defined as the average magnetic flux density over total surface of air gap, means total amount of flux density per area, means area between stator and rotor, means LG, total amount of flux density on the vacant space, means length of air gap. Okay, it is denoted by this equation also. BAB is equal to total flux in air gap divided by area of flux path in the air gap. It is equal to phi P divided by pi dl. Okay. Out of this, if we make equation for phi, means flux, what we get? Phi is equal to BAV multiplied by pi dl divided by P. We terms it as A, equation A. Okay, it is going to use in later theory. We are going to use this equation of phi in next theory. Clear? Now, second definition is specific electric loading. It is defined as the number of stator ampere conductor per meter of stator periphery at the air gap. Means total number of conductor carrying the current on the armature surface divided by stator armature periphery at air gap. Okay, then it is given by equation AC is equal to total stator ampere conductor. Ampere conductor are denoted by Z. Okay, divided by stator armature periphery at the air gap. It is denoted by pi d. What is d here? I have already shown you by means of diagram. What is d? D is the stator bore diameter. Okay. The another equation for AC is given as 3 into 2 into turn per phase into I phase divided by pi d. Okay, this equation, out of this equation, if we make the equation for TPH and IPH, turn per phase into current per phase, what we get? What we get? AC multiplied by pi d divided by 3 into 2. We term this equation as equation B, and we have already studied about the equation of synchronous speed. Ns is equal to 120 F divided by P. Out of that we have made the equation for frequency F. What we get? Ns into P divided by 2 in RPS, rotation per second, not in minutes. Okay, we term it as equation C. Now equation A, B and C we are going to use in next our theory output equation to derive the output equation for three-phase induction motor. Okay, next topic is the output equation for three-phase induction motor. Output equation is nothing but it is a mixed equation which contains its main dimension, that is D means stator core diameter, L is the stator core length, BAV specific magnetic loading, AC specific electric loading and its speed. Okay, this D, L, BAV, AC and speed we have learned in this semester 7, and these are the some short form which we have learned in previous semester, that is EPH. EPH is induced EMF per phase, unit is volt. IPH means current per phase in ampere. TPH means number of turns per phase. We are designing here a three-phase induction motor, means total 3 phases are going to use. TPH means number of turns per phase. Now phi is flux per pole in the air gap. P is the number of poles. Kw is the winding factor. Tau is the pole pitch. It is given by pi d divided by P. D is the stator core diameter in meter. L is the stator core length in meter. Ns is the synchronous speed. Eta is the full load efficiency, and cos phi is full load power factor. These are the terms which we are going to use in derivation of output equation for three-phase induction motor. Along with this, we are going to utilize the equation ABC, which I have already shown you and already written on this corner of the board. Okay. The output equation of three-phase induction motor, it is given by the equation Q kVA is equal to 3 into IPH into EPH into 10 raised to minus 3. Now equation for EPH we have learned in semester 4. EPH is equal to 4.44 multiplied by 5 means plus F is frequency, TPH turns per phase, and kW is winding factor. Okay, we are going to put this value of EPH in this equation here, and this equation will become Q is equal to 3 multiplied. We are going to replace the value of EPH by this value and putting here 4.44 F by TPH into kW, and the remaining terms here IPH into 10 raised to minus 3, giving us equation 1. Now we are going to insert the previous equation ABC in this equation number 1 and rearranging the terms. kVA is equal to 3 into 4.44 kW. Okay, and then we are going to replace this term TPH into IPH. What we have the value of TPH into IPH? TPH into IPH is equal to AC into pi d divided by 3 into 2. Okay, we have replaced it. Okay. Second part is F. This part is replaced for F. Okay, here. Okay. Next part is the value of flux phi. Means equation A. Flux phi is equal to BAP into pi dl divided by P. Equation A. Already we have derived this equation from specific magnetic loading definition. Okay. Now cancelling out the common terms, 3 in numerator and 3 in denominator are going to cancel out. 2 into 2 means 4. 4.44 divided by 4, what we will get? 1.11. And arranging the remaining term, 1.11 into pi square. Pi into pi square. Kw is winding factor multiplied by BAB into AC into 10 raised to minus 3, and these are the main dimension. D square into L multiplied by Ns. Ns is the synchronous speed. This is the equation 2. Okay. What do we have in the bracket? This equation will now become kVA is equal to C0 into D square L and S. C0 is 1.11 pi square kW BAV AC into 10 raised to minus 3. C0 is defined as the output equation coefficient. C0 is the output equation coefficient, and this equation is derived in terms of its main dimension, means DL, specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading as per the definition of output equation. Okay, this output equation surely will come in GTU exam paper. It is the combination of two questions. First thing is define specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading. Along with it, derive the output equation of three-phase induction motor for 7 marks. And in many papers, it have come in question 1A means question 1C means compulsory part for 7 marks. Okay. Define specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading along with output equation of three-phase induction motor. Means the previous portion of this theory, specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading definition along with its equation, and output equation, that is kVA or Q is equal to C0 D square L Ns. Okay, these two theory are going to ask combined in GTU exam paper, and most probably in question number 1 for 7 marks or question number 2C for 7 marks. Okay, so grab it.